and we've got two teams who were AFC rivals for almost 25 years. It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's all up next.
It's the venue that's had plenty of success come through it since the mid-2010s, as well as a few Lombardi trophies. It's GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as a default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Here's Jason Myers to get this one going. And we're off from Arrowhead. Has this at the 6. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So here come the Chiefs, taking the field for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, someone who, Brock, I think needs less introduction than anyone in the NFL today. It's Patrick Mahomes.
All of us as sports fans, we know those players in the other sports that when we just think of the greatest to ever do it, a skill set that's different than everybody else, immediately a player pops in your mind. And while we have seen GOATs like Tom Brady and Super Bowl winners many times over like Bradshaw, Montana, and Aikman, there's just not many that have ever done it with the flair, the style, and the skill set of Patrick Mahomes.
2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. Hauled in by Worthy. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
The smartest pass catchers I've ever been around, they know how to set up an outcut beautifully. They recognize when they have leverage, how to sell the deep route, and then boom, they just break it out as if it's nothing.
Mahomes on 1st and 10. This one finds Kelsey. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
You know, they really love that drag route because he's one of those guys that can count on not only to make the catch, but create after the catch. If they don't close on him quickly, he can add a lot of yards before someone tracks him down.
They'll run here on 1st down. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Devin Witherspoon there on the stop. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, Kate, I like to call these body blows. Body blows. You got to be committed to running the football. Even if it doesn't move the chains, I guarantee you that wear and tear will pay dividends later.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. As his man, it's DeAndre Hopkins. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
Offense already looking like they're in mid-game form. They've got it down to the 32. Short side option here. He's running left. And he's going to take this only to about the 31. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
It may not show up as much on the old stat sheet, just a short little QB run, but what that does, Kate, is so important. Keeps that defense honest, and in particular, those defensive linemen, those cleats in the ground, they're not just coming after you in the pocket. Now they've got to think about you as a runner as well.
Kelsey makes the catch. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
They'll run Pacheco. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. It's 2 yards on the gain, and now it'll be 2nd and goal.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw Mahomes. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs finish up an excellent opening series. It's an Isaiah Pacheco touchdown. What an outstanding opening series, partner. They just wore down that defense as they marched their way to the end zone.
Yeah, it took a whole bunch of that opening script to find a touchdown, but it showed just how well designed that script was. It was the right sequence of plays to keep that ball moving and find the end zone, getting your offense established in its top gear right here early on.
Now Harrison Butker for the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chiefs will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Reed now to kick this one away. That's going to be taken in at the 8. He stopped on the return at the 27. So out come the Seahawks for their first offensive possession. They're led out by someone amidst their second act as an NFL QB. He was a second-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
When Geno Smith won Comeback Player of the Year, it was really hard to find another comp. You know, the NFL, we love to always compare and contrast guys from different eras or project them moving forward. But there just were not many stories like Geno Smith, who just waited and persevered a decade in the NFL before he flourished. But what came to life finally was just the arm strength, the accuracy, the playmaking ability that was there at West Virginia, and it just took some time and maybe a little love from Pete Carroll at that time to really elevate his confidence and elevate his game.
This is Walker on 2nd. And he found some running room for a nice gain. 8 yards on that play, and they only have 1 now to go on 3rd down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run, but I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
And his short game gets them a new set of downs.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that 1st down right there.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Going to the ground again on 1st. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
2nd and 3 now. They go play action. Here's Smith. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. There it is. Touchdown, Seattle. The Seahawks finish off their opening drive. Tyler Lockett, the touchdown. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period. Yeah. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Now it's Jason Myers on for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Seahawks start off well to tie things 7-7. Here's Myers now to handle the kickoff. McCole Hardman now on the return. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Finds his man Rice. And he's touched down about 5 yards shy of that first down marker. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. Back to Arrowhead in just a moment. About set for the second quarter. Chiefs football here. They've got 2nd and 5. Mahomes completes this one to Rice. We'll head out of bounds after a small gain.
He's out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 4 coming up now. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. He completes it in traffic. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the two defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Again, Mahomes to throw. Hauled in by Rice. And this goes across midfield and into Seahawks territory.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Back to the air, Mahomes. Throw reeled in by Hopkins. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness, craziness to work over the middle of the field in this league. You're fighting through guys as you go, and all the while you know you can take a lick at any time.
The Hawks dialing up the nickel D here, 3rd down. Another throw for Mahomes. Complete beyond the marker. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. It's a gain of 4 there. And it'll be 1st down, Kansas City. Throwing again, Mahomes. Completed over the middle. And they bring him down around the 34.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 34. Completes this one to Gray. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Pirine. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Tackle made by Ernest Jones. Give him a few yards on that run. It's 2nd and 7. Running out of the gun with Pacheco. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. A solid gain of 6 there. It's going to be 3rd and just a yard.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a group, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
We're to the 2-minute warning from Arrowhead. The Chiefs with a chance to score and take a lead into the locker room. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. Play action, Mahomes. He has the first over the middle. And this is down all the way to the 3. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Man in motion here. Throwing now from the gun. Escapes the pocket. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Kansas City. The Chiefs get some late points and the lead. Patrick Mahomes, the touchdown. Just a great effort there from him, Brock, to take it upon himself, embrace the initiative, and turn that drive into 6.
You know, Kate, there was a day when you were watching Steve Young or Randall Cunningham, and that felt like a bonus touchdown. But that's not today. It feels like every quarterback's got to be able to score, be a dual threat on the ground. It's part of an offense every single team relies upon.
Butker to try the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chiefs break that tie and now lead by 7. Reed now to kick this one away. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Seahawks and Tyler Lockett readying for a new series on offense. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. So they're 1st and 3. As they'll meet and decide what to do on this 2nd down. A play fake. Now Smith to throw. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. First time this game they've looked to him, but still plenty of options left on 3rd and short. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
The Chiefs signal for a timeout. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Fourth down punt from the Seahawks, and that means we're going to see Michael Dixon head on to send it skyward. Starts his return from the 23. And some nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. He manages 13 on this punt return. And the Chiefs will get set to go on offense. They motion the tight end over. First down throw, Mahomes. Has him on the quick hitter. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A pickup there of 33 yards. And the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
I think every quarterback around the world would agree, Kate. You love throwing a short pass to a tight end and then give that guy a chance to show off his speed in the open field. He outruns defense to make it a much bigger gain.
So the complexion of this drive has changed dramatically now. New set of downs inside the 35. Cut near the goal line. Touchdown, Kansas City. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. It has been wash, rinse, repeat for them offensively, Brock, as, well, we all wait for this defense find a little backbone before this becomes a runaway.
Yeah, I'm a little torn up here in this booth because you're exactly right. Offensively, this is just machine, surgical. Defensively, you're running the risk of being embarrassed here pretty quickly.
Butker to try the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Chiefs double their lead to 14. Reed now to kick this one away. Here's a return from the 7. The return manages to get just beyond the 30. The Seahawks offense to the field for the final drive of this first half. They'll have to be quick about anything they want to do here. We're just moments away from halftime. 1st and 10 now. Here's Smith. Finds Smith and Jigba. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Down inside the 40 now with a first down following that last play. Out of the gun, here's Smith. He finds Smith and Jigba right side. That play good for 17 and a first down.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
Only time left for one more snap, Brock, so they're going to run out their field goal unit. From 37 yards in the right hash. Myers' kick is good, and that'll get him back to 11.
I know, you always want to finish drives in the end zone, but no matter what, the important thing is they end in some kind of points, and that's mission accomplished there.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. They'll turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. And he has a decent gain on what's going to be the final play of the half. So that brings us to halftime here in KC. It's the Chiefs who've got the advantage heading into the locker rooms. Now we'll send you south to our Orlando studios for the EA Sports Halftime Reports with Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Reports. In the first half, we saw some strong play from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He threw 2 touchdown passes, ran for another, as his guys have the lead at halftime. With that, the 2 squads are headed out of the tunnel. So let's get you back out to Kay Scott and Brock Hewitt.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Reed now to kick this one away. This return starts at the 5. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. So as we get set to begin the third quarter, it's the Seattle offense who's going to be out there first. That passing game they went to in the first half, it's going to need to be firing to start this second half too as they chase this lead. First play of the drive. Here's Walker. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
Staying with Walker. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, Coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession, or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
They're now set for 1st and 10. Running with Walker again. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Now an inside give to Walker. And they make the stop, we're going to say at about the 37-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
That's the type of call that offensively, man, it just builds so much confidence. I don't even think they were looking to get the 1st down. Just get to a manageable 3rd down. But instead, they move the chains. And that is one disheartening look on that defense.
Smith on 1st down. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They give up the gut to Walker. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Drew Tranquil brings him to the ground. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5. They go play action. Here's Smith. Looking right, and he finds him. And this is down to the 28 before the defense halts it.
Here we go. Here's one of those game situations that just puts a smile on my face because I can think from Pop Warner to the NFL, everybody on the field thinking the same thing. Can we go for it? Can we get one more shot as you end up just short on that 3rd down?
They send a man in motion. Smith on 4th down. And it's going to be incomplete. Couldn't connect to extend the drive. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's not quite that fast. Let him just a bit too much. That's incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Out of the gun, it's Mahomes. Anticipated the quick staccato pass there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Could not beat the defender there. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
3rd down, it's Mahomes. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
No one picks him up, and he reminded everyone in the building why that's a major mistake. The linebacker's athleticism on full display. A sack in under 2 seconds? That's a select group of players on the planet who could pull that off.
The Chiefs looking to punt on 4th down, so on comes Matt Araiza to handle it. And this one is crushed. Wow, beautiful punt here. That is going to go for 60+. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Seahawks are headed out, and we'll see Kenneth Walker. Hard to do better than that, a 66-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawks football. Walker on 1st down. And he's able to manage a couple on that run.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is he put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road from what looked like a very plain play.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Shotgun snap to Smith. Taken in by Noah Fant. And he goes out. Just needed one more step to reach midfield. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Kid, I can't tell you how good that is. Anticipating the outcut, having the ball on the way before the receiver's head even turns, he puts it on him so that receiver can easily get out of bounds for the nice gain.
It's Walker on the option. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2. To go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They're going play action. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Looking for Tyler Lockett on that play. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
Throwing on 3rd, Smith. Walker hauls it in. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
4th down, Smith. That one's cut along the left sideline. All the way, touchdown Seattle! The Seahawks shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. It's a DK Metcalf touchdown! That is a touchdown to one of their prime receiving targets.
This is really what you pay your skill guys for. You know, I had an old coordinator say it's my job to get you a one-on-one, It's your job to go out and win it with a touchdown.
The Seahawks offense, look at this. They aren't leaving the field, lining up and going for two. And again, it's Smith. And he goes down, the pressure gets home, and they will not take another two off that lead.
You go with what you think is your best option. There they felt like it was going to be a pass, but sometimes it simply doesn't work.
So after making this a 5-point ball game, they kick it off. Fielded at the 7. And look at this return. The tackle's made, so this drive will begin at the 34-yard line. The Chiefs are out once again. Their offense led by Patrick Mahomes. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. A counter give here to Pacheco. He'll cobble together a yard there. Tackle made by Ernest Jones. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
These are the kind of runs, Kate, that just soften up a defense. Keep working on them, keep working on them. And eventually you're going to break one of those counters for even bigger yardage.
Finds his man. It's Worthy. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. It's Chiefs football trying to carry this lead across the finish line. This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Mahomes. Hauled in by Worthy. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
The Chiefs bringing out their punt team. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. He broke 50 on his first punt and looks to have done the same here. And the sunlight's not a problem for him. He looks up and makes the fair catch. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Seahawks drive is going to start from deep in their own territory. It's Walker on the give. Nice cut back to the right sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They got 24 yards on the play. And it sets up Seattle with first down.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He could take it to the house.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. Smith. Barner with the grab. And this one does not go far.
Just stay on schedule. Just stay on schedule, right? SOS. Bad thing on a ship. Good thing on a football field. Even a little completion keeps this offense on schedule.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Hand off to Walker from the gun. And he's got this down to the 40. 4 yards on the pickup, and that's going to leave him with 3rd and 3. He'll throw it. It's tipped away and it's going to hit the ground incomplete. Defender winning that rep. That brings up 4th down.
I hate those situations, Kate, as a QB. I'm looking for an open passing lane, and I can't find one anywhere. He thought he had one available. Defense did a better job of knocking it away.
Seahawks bringing out the punt team. And he's getting the call for the 2nd time this game. Got 44 yards on his first kick, Brock, and this one looks to be longer. Oh, they are loving this one. It flies out of bounds, and it wasn't too far off the end zone. They're going to say it crossed at the 3. The Kansas City offense set to take the field. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. From the gun, P-Rod. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
As an offense in these situations, Kate, you could feel your own goal line, and you're not going to risk putting the ball in the air. So that means you're going to run it, and you're going to buy whatever breathing room you can.
8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. A give right side. Here's Pacheco. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him about 3 yards, and now they're going to have 3rd and 5 to figure out.
This close to your own goal line, they really don't want to risk a sack. That means, well, one option, run it and buy whatever breathing room you can.
He's back to throw. And he's off the mark there. Too far behind him to adjust. That brings up 4th down.
So many coaches love 3rd downs and practice them so much, Kate. Why? Because they're the money down in the NFL. Whether it's a close game already out of hand, coaches know, got to execute and convert on these 3rd downs.
Kansas City sends out its punt team. Getting about 50 yards of boots so far, and here's another quality effort. And he makes the fair catch inside the 45. So no return on that punt. And they're going to take over possession. The Seahawks back on offense, led out by Geno Smith. The Seahawks in good field position to start this drive off as they head up to the line. 1st and 10. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this 2nd half. No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Back to the air. It's Smith. Pass complete to Walker. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
We've heard it said, and I believe it to my core, football is the ultimate team sport. And a well-run screen like that is the ultimate team play because it takes all 11 doing their job.
They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10. From the gun, Smith. Connection made to Smith and Jigba. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And the Seahawks will have a 1st down.
This really isn't a route designed for a lot of yards, Kate. You're just trying to get a small handful and move on to the next down. Stay in rhythm. But anytime you can work some magic after the catch and stretch it out, those are welcome bonus yards.
That takes us to the 2-minute warning here in KC. Seahawks facing a 5-point deficit. They're set up at the 35 now. First down, Smith to throw. Completed over the middle. And he's able to take this one down to the 25.
You get this big old dude like him in the slot, it's an automatic mismatch advantage. You're trading a little bit of speed, sure. You sure do get a lot of size. And anytime he's in the slot, you got to assume the ball's going his way.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Into the hands of Walker. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. The Seahawks calling for a timeout. They're 1st to 3. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. All right, set now, 1st and 10. They sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
I can promise you, that's not what it looked like on the practice field nor on the whiteboard. Typically, QB run is going to net you a whole lot more yardage than that. But let's give some credit. Strong effort by that defensive front who contained a play that typically goes for a whole lot more.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. He musters up 3 yards on the run. That sets up 3rd and 4.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of reaction time you want when you face a draw play. They broke on it shortly after the draw started, and they contained it to a minimal gain.
Throwing now. Bails out of the pocket. And Willie, no, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. And the defense comes through. 4th down, that much tougher.
We've learned how valuable sacks in a pass rush are in today's NFL. It's a bit surprising, isn't it, Kate, that that's their first sack of the game, but they found other ways to produce success on both sides of the ball. And they finally pick up a much-needed sack on that stat sheet.
And it falls incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense. Down to a knee, and we're going to see if that defense chooses to expend one of its final 2 timeouts. So a timeout's taken, just 5 seconds left, and after the pause, we're going to see our last play of the game. Back into that favorite formation they go, Brock, forcing those guys to burn a timeout. The Chiefs in a victory formation here as they take a knee. And with 4 seconds remaining, they're going to take a timeout. After one final kneel down, partner, and this should do it. He goes to a knee as time winds down in this one. So score this a win for the Chiefs. And finally, Brock, they can exhale and take a few breaths. Because I don't imagine any of them were breathing easy during that one with how close this game was.
Them or us? Or both?
All of us. D, all of the above.
It is so hard, Kate, to match the adrenaline surge they feel right now, and that they felt at every major turn throughout the second half. There's just something about a close game, the intensity that's there in every moment that you love to experience as a player, and that you hope in all these moments you can execute so you're the one celebrating and riding that wave of emotion.